Hey guys! Wow, that was kind of loud. Anyway, okay. Quick story. Super random. Literally just happened right now. So I wanted to get it off my chest and get just the initial emotions, like logged in. So, as you know, or maybe you didn't know, my birthday was yesterday, December 9th. I'm 24 now. Super excited. In the 1 year from being 23 to 24, I have just grown so much spiritually, and I just am in this state right now where I feel put together. Like I don't feel as broken as I did a year before. I'm not blaming anybody for the brokenness. I know where it happened, and I'm now in this like state where I feel like I finally caught up with the person that I'm going to become. So that's just been my really big praise for this 24th birthday. It's just, I thank God for the wholeness. And wouldn't you know it, today's the 10th now. And I had this strange feeling. That my ex was gonna contact me, either on my birthday or after. I don't know. And it's like he usually always forgets my birthday, but like I had a little feeling. So when this number, unsaved number, texted me today, I was like, I feel like I know this number. Oh, my phone's about to die. Okay, there we go. So when I got the text from this number, I was like, I feel like I know this number. And the person was like, happy belated, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And I was like, let me just text this person back and see if it's who I think it is. So I was like, I'm so sorry, I don't have this number saved, but I feel like I know who this is. Who is this, or whatever. And he's terrible at texting. So literally waited like 4 hours later, and I was like, you know what, let me just call this number. Let me just make sure for my own sanity, because I'm like, I might be freaking out or something. I call the number, and it gets to his voicemail, and I'm like, wow, it is him. Like, this is crazy. And then he called me back, and I'm looking at the number, and I'm hesitant because I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is it. You know, I've played this moment in my head so many times, guys, like when my ex would actually finally contact me, or when we would finally like talk to each other as like we're actually human beings, or actually had a relationship and whatnot. I've played it so many times in my head, like what I would say, how I would say it, and all this stuff. And it was just so funny because it's like all of those, I don't know, it's like changed now. So I picked up. So I was like, I looked at the number for a while, and I was like, I picked up. I said hello. We were on the phone for like 3 hours, catching up and everything. And it was just so good to hear his voice. Like I said, like there's just something about like when you love someone, you stop loving that person all of a sudden because the situation is different, or because like you feel like you shouldn't anymore. Like who says they love their ex without there being the whole, oh my gosh, you're still in love with him, blah, blah, blah. And it's not even like, I don't want you guys, or I don't want to get it confused with like that kind of love. The love I'm talking about is just the love for somebody else. Like I genuinely care about your well-being kind of love. I just want to know that you're good. I just want to know that you're alive. That random call, like, that kind of love. I'm not talking about like the other type of whatever. The love that you have when y'all was friends, like that's the love that I'm more so talking about when I say like love your ex. It really did hurt me, the fact that we just stopped talking, and like, like this person's blaming this person, and this person's blaming this person, and blah, blah, and all that stuff that you go through breakups and whatnot. So it like was a pain for me, like not to call him and not to check up on him and just like be, and most importantly, not to have closure. So what I just find so funny about this situation is that not until I realized that I did not need closure from this person, that I needed healing from God, that I could depend solely on God for this healing, for that I thought that this closure from my ex would bring, not until I realized that it was God that I was dependent on for what I really needed, did this, experience of closure happen afterwards. I think God has literally the most sickening sense of humor ever. I prayed for closure last year or whatever. Let's say it was a while ago. I prayed for closure. I'm crying for closure. Whatever it is, I'm upset and blah, blah, blah. I live without closure. I heal without closure. And then all of a sudden, the day after my birthday is when I talk to him. I talk to my ex. It's like him saying, my child, you've done a good job with this. This chapter is closed. God had revealed to me one of his learning strategies. What I want you to do is to learn how you can first live without that thing. How you can live with me solely. How you can live with me as all you need, as everything that you need. That's what I want you to learn first. So then that way, when I do give you that thing that you had been praying for, you no longer depend on that. You depend on me. It's the same situation where there's this one time I moved to Florida. I didn't have a sewing machine here. I was almost about to go crazy. There was too much free time. All I did was go to school and go to work and come home. Too much free time, and that's my thing. I sew and blah, blah, blah. The original plan was for my mom to bring my sewing machine down here, but it's an industrial machine. It's literally like carrying a car. So that was not going to happen any longer. And it got me so upset because it was like, well, why would you change up the situation now? If that's the case, I would have done this differently and whatnot. And then I just learned to deal with it. I was just like, you know what? It's cool. I thought about it differently. I was like, all right, you know what? It's not the end of the world. You can live without your sewing machine. It's fine. You can live without creating in that way. How about we do this? How about we paint instead every morning? Or how about we cook? Or how about we draw? Or how about we read a book instead? I started to think of other ways that I could substitute that and not be dependent on that thing, and know that my creativity is not only one thing, it's many, many forms. And I get that because my father taught me that, and he is the same way. Before you knew it, a couple months passed, I didn't even need the sewing machine anymore. I didn't even really think about it like that anymore. And out of nowhere, I look in the same laundry room that I had been doing laundry. All of a sudden, one day I was just measuring I was doing my body measurements, and looked right at the corner of my eye, the same room I had popped up in maybe 6 times since I've been here. There's a sewing machine right there. It's been there the whole time, but my eyes were blinded to it for a freaking purpose. You complain, and then you learn not to complain, and then you learn to just depend on him, and then he grants you what your prayer, because now you've that all you need is him. And once you've learned that, then when he grants you your wish, he knows that he can give it to you without you abusing it again. As I was talking to my ex, I was just laughing the whole time. I was just thinking in my head, I was just like, thank you, God. Because if you had allowed him to call me maybe 6 months before, I would not be ready. I would not be put together. No, heck no. I would have been petty up and down the phone call. It would not at all be like this. But you made it all happen in the right time, because you knew that now I was ready to be able to just hear his voice and be happy that wow, he's doing good, and know the purpose more so behind it. So I just thought that was really cool. I thank God for that lesson. I thank God for, what we had been through, because, oh Jesus, I'm not gonna cry. I wouldn't be who I am today. So I wouldn't be where I am today. So yeah. Okay, I'm getting off before I start crying. So I'll see you guys. I'm not trying to get super emotional on here. So love you. Talk to you guys later. Share with me your thoughts, your ideas, your comments, all that good stuff. All right, bye.